Hey guys, it's Anya and welcome to or back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about why you're doing great in every step that you're taking to a more sustainable life and a better environment. First, I want to address why I said you're doing great and not enough. I feel like, honestly, there's never enough that you can do to anything. There's always more that you can put in. And I don't know where the barrier of enough is. It's different for everybody. So I just like to say that people are doing great. So first, I wanted to just address like the toxicity around sustainability and like climate action. I feel like there's so many people out there that are like, if you're not vegetarian, then you aren't doing enough for the environment because you're still killing animals and releasing way more methane and CO2. If you're not vegan, you're not doing enough for the environment. If you're not completely like zero waste, you're not doing enough for the environment, which is, another reason why I hate the word enough. I absolutely hate that. Like, I feel like if you didn't know anything about the environment and you researched even like recycling and you're like, oh, I'm gonna recycle plastic and aluminum and glass and stuff like where it's supposed to be recycled from now on, that is a great step in the right direction. So I don't know, I just really hate the toxicity around the whole climate movement. I genuinely don't think that anybody has the right to place themselves above others and say who is or isn't doing enough. Hopefully everybody here has heard of Harry Potter. And the actress who plays Ginny Weasley, her name is Bonnie Wright. And first off, I just absolutely love Harry Potter. So but I follow her and she eats, I'm not sure if she eats meat, but she does eat dairy and eggs. So, she's not vegan and she might even eat meat. But, she is like a climate activist and pushes for a better world and like always promotes sustainable brands and different package-free options and buys whole food instead of packaged food. So I just feel like anybody can do it even if they're not vegan or vegetarian. Like, I genuinely hate how people say that. Like, you can still put yourself in the right direction. You can still like clean up the beach even if you just had bacon in the morning. It doesn't change the fact that you just cleaned up a beach. Like, that's a really, really good thing. Every voice in the direction helps. Like, I used to literally just post stuff on Instagram like all the time. I would just like repost like a floss replacement. I would literally post that on my Instagram story just so that more people see it, or like statistics, or like a picture of a bunch of trash in the ocean, be like, here, just to spread it to more people so that more people at least like have it in the back of their head, like somewhere deep in their subconscious mind. They're like, oh yeah, there is a lot of trash in the ocean. Maybe subconsciously they will remember to like recycle that next water bottle that they take. But yeah, please don't buy like single-use water bottles. There is genuinely probably nothing that I hate more than when people offer me like a single-use water bottle, especially if I'm like at somebody's house and you give me a water bottle instead of a glass of water like from the tap. You have running water. Okay, yeah. I don't know, that's just like my biggest pet peeve. Okay, so I thought I'd give you guys like my story. Obviously this like changes and improves, or gets worse, who knows, every day, every week, whatever. Honestly, I just kind of recently like really started getting into sustainability a lot more. Ever since I was a kid, I was always that kid that would like, if I saw like a water bottle, I would be like, pick it up and throw it away or put it in the recycling or whatever. I'm like, why? And I always like read articles and stuff, and they always interested me. And if I had like a class in science and we started talking about like climate action, I would get like super excited, and then we would literally talk about it for one day and I'd be like, oh, but not until probably like a few months ago did I really just start researching it a lot more and following different accounts, finding out different things. Because honestly, when you Google stuff, you can't find out that much. What was I saying? It takes quite a long time and you have to know very specifically what you're trying to find and know exactly how to word it in the right way. So yeah, I was born a meat eater. I ate dairy, all the jazz. Very fun. I don't know how old I was, but I started noticing that my stomach would always hurt if I had milk, ice cream, cake, cheese, you know, anything with dairy in it. Turns out I'm lactose intolerant. I switched to almond milk for those things, but I still drank regular milk sometimes. Like, I wasn't strict about it. Then I went vegetarian for about 5 or 6 months, and then like after those like 5 or 6 months I was just like, yeah, no, I'm having chicken nuggets. Like I don't know why it was so hard for me, but like I didn't have enough discipline to like I was like, yeah, like I'm vegetarian, but like if I eat meat I'm still vegetarian. I don't know, like that was my mind frame at the time. It was really weird. I don't even know. But yeah, now I am pescatarian. Very strict with my, okay, I don't like the word strict because I feel like that's a bad thing, but I don't drink anything with milk in it now or eat anything with milk in it for the most part. You know, every little bit counts. I literally wasn't pescatarian until probably a few months ago. Okay, something that intrigues me so much is composting. I have wanted to compost for such a long time. Like that just seems like such a cool thing to me. And you know, just like throwing out like the peels of an avocado or like the core of an apple or whatever, I'm like, why not compost it? Like it just seems so much better. So actually I was about to buy like a compost thingy for my backyard, and then we got a newsletter from our neighborhood that said that they have a compost bin, but there's a lottery to get into it because like they can't have too many people. The fact that my neighborhood has that is so freaking cool. Pretty much that over time you have to like turn it, and over time it becomes rich and fertile soil, and we are making a garden, which is so freaking cool. I will most likely document that. Like not a pretty garden or whatever, but like a food garden. I am slowly trying to move my like skincare, body care, makeup, clothing, personal items, whatever, to more sustainable options. So, you know, hopefully everybody here washes their face. I bought bamboo cotton rounds, which are, you wash them. It comes in a little baggie. I'll actually link the ones that I have down below because I really like them. They're super soft. If you know cotton rounds, they're just not the softest thing. Like they never bothered me or anything, but they're just like not really super soft. You reuse them. It's a pack of like 15. It's so much better for the environment. It's a great Christmas present for people that you know that care about their skincare. Buy them reusable cotton rounds, yes. Or whatever holiday that you celebrate. Yeah, on with other things like body care, skincare. Obviously, the most important part of sustainability is to not just throw, like if I have a bottle of shampoo, like regular shampoo that's in a bottle form, liquid form, don't just throw it out. Use that, and then when you're done or almost done, you buy a bar. You know, the bar, when you finish using the whole thing, it's just gone. There's no packaging to like recycle or throw away or anything. I got this gift box for my birthday, which was like a sampler of body products. So there were 2 body wash bars. There was a exfoliator bar, a body butter, which is super nice, and a natural deodorant. Now, natural deodorant, practically none of them work. We all know this, like freaking none of them work. But this one genuinely actually works for me. I'm a very sweaty person. I'm gonna put that out there. I don't care if you know. You know, I was always somebody that bought other plastic products in the past, and now I have these, which I think is great and a great step forward. So I get a lot of back talk from people that I'm doing like too much for the environment, which is just like the whole you're not doing enough thing. Like, I hate that. First off, you can't do too much for the environment. Like, this planet literally is the reason why you're alive. If this planet didn't exist, if we didn't have water on this planet, if we didn't have trees, you would not be alive today. So please do not tell me that I'm doing too much. Like, I don't understand that. No, I literally get told that a lot, honestly. Like, I'll be just talking to people in my daily life and they'll be like, oh, really? You bought like reusable cotton rounds? Like, that's kind of extra. And I'm like, it's actually just saving the environment, but like, whatever. I don't know. I just freaking hate when people say that. Honestly, don't understand where they get that from at all. I completely understand that not everybody is in the position to buy sustainable and like ethical clothing. It's super freaking expensive for the most part. Obviously, over time, since you have less pieces, it ends up being cheaper, but like I feel like most people don't just have like $100 to blow on like a pair of pants, you know. There's so many people that simply can't do that, and that's why I'm making this video, because I completely understand that not everybody can do that. Like, even I don't think I even own a single thing that is ethically made. I can always do more. People do less, people do more than me, but I think that I'm doing great and I'm doing fine, and I'm simply not in the position to splurge like $100 on my wardrobe. I have multiple friends that have like 7 different concealers and like 12 different moisturizers and like 3 different eyebrow products and like whatever, and I'm like, why do you have so much? Like, you're just an average high schooler. Like, why do you have so much? You simply do not need that. I absolutely love making things your own and making things look vibrant if you feel like it. I'm literally prepared to make this entire wall have a bunch of pictures on it, and that might not seem minimalistic, which it definitely isn't, but you know, in certain areas you can give or take, and these pictures or whatever, I will save them and one day probably put them in a scrapbook or put them up on the next wall that I have when I go to college or whatever, you know? Like, I feel like you give or take in certain areas. Like, I don't have a lot of makeup. I've always been quite minimal in that area. I've actually never like read this anywhere, the stuff about books, but I think about this a lot, is like having paper books probably isn't the most sustainable thing, because you read them and you're done with them and it's like a whole paper production thing. But personally, that is something that I don't want to give up. The feeling of holding a book. I cannot read like a book online. That is just something I've never been able to do, never wanted to do. That is something that I personally am not going to give up. I think I'm still doing great. I'm still doing stuff to benefit the environment in other ways. So I think that having real paper books is fine. You don't have to go completely cold turkey and not buy anything ever and completely do everything on your electronics and, you know, throw out all meat and all dairy products just like this and not buy a single piece of fast fashion and never buy anything that has packaging. Like, that's just not something that like 99.999% of people in the world can do. And lastly, I just really wanted to add that sustainability is not about being perfect. It's just doing your best and taking a step forward, and honestly researching, because like most people don't even know composting is a thing. Most people don't even know that like you can buy food in bulk things in jars. I just think that it's about taking every little step, and most people don't even know about it. So I just hope this video helped give you guys some more ideas. I definitely want to do a video on just a bunch of like things. Wow, Anya, that was very specific of you to say things. Wow. I mean, you can see how my brain works. I would love to make a video that just has a bunch of sustainable options, whether I use them or not. If you guys like this video, give it a like. Comment down below what steps you take or what steps you want to take in the future to a more sustainable life. Honestly, this is probably the least that I've ever scripted a video, and yet I've talked for 50 minutes already. So, I mean, I don't know. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.